Hello everybody. Two things before I get into today's video. Hello, long time no see. You haven't seen me post on this channel in a long time because I just basically, I've been running a lot. Most of the miles I've done have been standard operating procedure. Drive, get somewhere, unload, have time to do my own thing. Get to a Walmart, get refreshed. It's been pretty good. Running's been okay. Also, there was 3 weeks where I took 1 week off. Ended up with 2 weeks of extra vacation because, there was just simply no loads because of the coronavirus issue. So, okay. That explains why I haven't uploaded to the channel. Another thing is, I'd like to make this more of a help channel or something that can describe more aspects of the job and make the channel more interesting to watch instead of just me sitting here talking. But I don't have the ability to do that. I don't have a laptop computer yet. It's something I want to buy in the future. And so there's no real way for me to edit anything. Especially on off time. That could be something I do on off time, although I seem to have plenty to do on off time anyways. So that describes why I haven't uploaded to the channel in a while, because everything aside from that is just really me getting inspired to get on here when I feel like bitching about something, and today is no exception. I feel like sitting here and bitching and complaining. So that's the deal with that. There was some other note I was going to say. That's basically it, I guess. I was going to just describe why I wasn't uploading to my channel very often. So what's today's video? And I'll tell you recently, I've had some interesting drives. I've gone as far as Tucson, Arizona. While I was there, I had a great time on a day before I got a load, hiking up a mountain, and I got this new mantra about my off time, and I'll tell you this in a second. Lots of thoughts coming to my mind right now. I was able to first of all, my mantra is I ask myself every day, what's the best thing I can do? And I got that from Neil Peart's books that I've been reading, the drummer from Rush, who recently passed away. It's very, very devastating to me and a lot of other fans. But anyways, a great thing that you can see in his life that it was a life lived, and looking at the ways he did that was, and the way he described it was, he would ask himself every day, what's the greatest thing I could do today? I have some off time. What's the greatest thing I could do? Is it hiking? Is there snowboarding, snowshoeing, should I say, and stuff like that. So I kind of try to do the same thing. I gotta roll up my windows here. I'm parked with some trucks and it's getting a little noisy. So in Arizona, I was able to. I asked myself when I had the day after my delivery, when I thought I would be getting a load, I asked myself, well, what is the greatest thing I could do today if I didn't get a load? And I said, well, look at all these mountains around here. There was a ton of mountains around there, and I've climbed one before in El Paso, and that was what I wanted to do, is climb a mountain. And so, just watching some truckers. One guy almost running over another guy. So I knew I could hike a mountain. I searched on my map, and sure enough, there was a hiking trail and a mountain you could climb up, and I just had an excellent day doing that. Posted it all on Facebook. Be a friend of mine on Facebook. I don't know if you know my name, but whatever. If you want to see all that. What I'm getting good at is, so I'll lead into this. This kind of goes along with it. Is kind of this. Kind of feeling out, and I don't want to jinx it because I probably will jinx it by saying this, but I'm kind of getting good at feeling out what's going on with this gig? Like, when I'm done with the load, what's next? Like, am I really getting a load, or am I about to have a day off? And I've gotten it right in a couple different times. Like, for example, that day in Arizona, I was like, for example, if I was stuck up on the mountain and got a call to get a load, I would have been like, I was about an hour and a half from my van just walking. And then I would have had to walk an extra hour. And sometimes they've told me on these loads, look, you got to get there. We've got a load for you. We got to get there by 3. You have exactly, it's an hour, it's a 2 hour drive, and you have an hour and 59 minutes to get there, So it's like everything is to the minute. And I've kept my van gassed up, and then what do you know? I get a load to fly right out. I don't have to gas it. I'm ready to go. There was the day in Arizona where I just decided to say, you know what? I think I'm safe enough to go on that hike. I hiked and didn't get a call. Had a great day of walking. There was another day in South Carolina. I knew I was able to go to the beach. I drove over to the beach in Myrtle Beach or something like that around there. And then there was recently one where on a trip to Arizona, I knew I could get to the park, and a park I knew about with a little lake and everything, so that worked out. What was the other one? The other one was where, I can't remember now, and it was just on my mind. Well, it'll come to me. Anyways, where I sleep when another day, I knew, like I said, I'm kind of tired. I don't really feel like doing anything. I'm not in an area where I can do anything, and you know what? I just got the feeling I need to sleep, because if I stay groggy and I get a load overnight, I'm gonna be in trouble. And what do you know? I got like it was like an extra 10 hours of sleep, and I woke up, and what do you know? I had a load ready to go overnight. Saw that one coming, I guess. And then the final one was today, this morning. I have a weird load, and that'll bring me up to my final bitch. My weird load was that I was in I was in Toronto, Canada, and usually there's a load out of Toronto, Canada, going to get me into the States, to get me moving around somewhere in there. But this one was different. It was drive to Ohio, pick up a load to bring back into Canada, and that's not usual. However, it was, don't worry, you're getting paid full mileage rate to get from Toronto to Ohio, so that turns into, combined with the mileage from Ohio back into the Alliston Honda plant, back in Alliston, Ontario, that turns into an 800-mile run. Not bad. Not bad. That's good for a back and forth run. However, this was on a Friday, and I didn't have to pick up and deliver until Monday. So that means that over the course of 4 days now, this money's going to spread out, and the earnings aren't as good. Okay, you take the good with the bad on this job, right? So that's enough, whatever. And it left me a weekend to try to find something great to do on a Saturday and Sunday in Ohio. First of all, it was late Friday when they told me, so I said, I'm going to sleep, get a good night's sleep at a nice place that I had at the Ford plant in Toronto. It's like the only quiet place I've ever found in Toronto. Quiet enough. But anyways, from there, I took off on a Saturday morning so I could get out of Toronto with no traffic happening and just have a nice Saturday drive down into Ohio. And it was really pretty easy, because once you got across the border, it's an hour to Ohio at the most, like 45 minutes to Ohio, and then it was about 2 hours to 2.5 hours down into Ohio. So Marysville, Ohio is not very far. So that was pretty easy. I was there, and I had the rest of Saturday to fart around. I went to a Walmart, got all that stuff taken care of, found a place to sleep. Sunday came around. I looked on Craigslist. I found a piece of music gear that I was been looking for. Made arrangements to meet up with someone in a park, buy it. Spent all day at the park jamming with my new musical gear, and had a blast doing my thing, making my music, and making some new sounds, and giving me some hope for the future, kind of like, it's not what I'm looking for to say, but, things to think about going forward, like, oh, cool, I can, have, something, I know I've got, cooler music to make, so, I'm charged for the next time I've got, um, time to make music, and I've got thoughts whirring in my head during the boring times of driving about what I can do, different sounds I can make, and on and on. So, okay. From there, so now we know we're on a 3 day mission, but I spent all day Sunday having a great time. Sunday, so I knew Sunday night I'd have a good full night's sleep, wake up in the morning, and get to this load. Another thing is, they initially had said the pickup was at 000 hours on Sunday night. Oh, look, there goes another RJR van. It looks like he's got paperwork, and I motherfucking don't. Anyways, I the pickup time was weird. Then they said we'll just be there at 7 in the morning on Monday. Okay, well that's like 7 in the morning Monday, delivering at 7 at night, but that's only like a 6 hour drive, and I don't have to be there until 10 o'clock at night. Pretty good. I'm seeing the reason why that has happened now, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Well, anyways, I get to there. I sleep overnight. It's okay sleep. It's not the greatest, but I only got a 6 hour drive ahead of me today, and not a big deal, right? And it's morning, and I'm leaving Ohio. I get loaded. Well, so here's the deal. I had some of my music gear still out because it was only supposed to be one skid. Here's the meat and potatoes of this video. It was only supposed to be one skid of stuff. And I just had, all of a sudden in the morning, I woke up and I smelled bullshit in the air. I farted all night. No, I'm just kidding. But I smelled bullshit in the air. I just knew, wait, something's up. I could sense it. I had a feeling that this is one of them places that's going to suddenly be like, oh, one skid? No, we've got it's a 19 inches long. So I started seeing, I woke up at 6 a.m. exactly, and I was going to go back in this. I was like, oh, I got 2 hours before 7 o'clock, so let me get some more sleep here. Well, that was 1 hour before 7 o'clock. And I heard a truck back up, and I saw a car arrive, so I thought, no, I go, some people are starting to get here. I go, and I could probably get loaded early. Why don't I just kind of get dressed, ask these people about what's going on with the load, and I can have a chance of getting out of here. So while I was getting dressed, I thought to myself, you know what? This isn't going to be one skid. Pick up all your guitar gear off the floor and get it all in boxes, get everything set up nice, because I bet not only is this not going to be one skid, you're going to have to flip your bed up. Ding, 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 ding. What do you know? 6 cents was kicking in. Well, anyways, or I jinxed it. I don't know. But I picked everything up, and I started to drive toward the dock door. Actually, I was just turning my van around so I could kind of get a view as I sat in my van for the morning, like what was going on. And I saw a lady there looking at my van. And so I drove up to her, and sure enough, she was the shipping and receiving lady. She's like, yeah, are you here for the expedite load? I'm like, yeah, great. She's like, okay, she's like, are you ready to fit? Like, she's like, can you fit 4 skids in there? You got room to, flip your bed up? Or I don't know if she said that, but she said something like, are you going to be able to fit 4 skids in there? And I'm like, well, usually they stack. I mean, I go, first of all, it was only supposed to be, so all it was told to me was 1 skid, but that's real common. If they're like, oh, I go there for 1 skid, 1 skid, 1 skid, 1 skid. You never know what you're going to fucking get. Once in a while, they're accurate and they'll tell you 3 skids, but most of the time it's just, they get told one thing, and some at these places, and more lately, because I think this coronavirus pandemic has people just operating in haywire mode, like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Just get a van, get a truck. It's a truck, straight truck, van. I don't know. And certain people at these places, like, have lost it and don't know how to request expedite shipping service. So, what do you know that she's saying it's 4 skids? Now, 3 skids will fit if I flip up the bed. So I tell her, well, look, maybe you can stack one on top of the other. She's like, oh, they're bins. I go, well, bins usually stack, so, maybe we're good to go. So she's like, well, just okay. Just meet us by the door. We'll unload this truck and we'll get back to you. So within short order, the door's opening up and I'm hopping out and trying to find out what's going on. And they show me that there's 4 pallets of bins. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the bed's all up. You can't see anything behind me. The bed is all up. My van is stuffed full of their shit. And there's four things they're thinking about. Their guy decided to start coming up with ideas about trying to stack it. And I say, maybe you can break one down and put it on top of the other ones. But the way the shipper wants it, you can't break the stuff down. They need it exactly as it comes off the pallets because it goes to certain areas and has certain priorities, so it can't be broken up. So they realize after loading, 4 isn't going to fit, but they say, okay, all bets aren't off, and they can't be off because they just paid me 400 miles to get there. They probably don't want this to get all fully canceled, so they say, all right, we can slice the one skid off the order, leave that behind, and take these 3 with you. So we stuffed 3 in my van. One almost wouldn't fit, but they had a lid on it. They could take the lid off, and it just barely fit inside. That one went in. That didn't go in first. Went in like second or whatever it did. They got all the skids inside the van after nearly crunching up some of my plywood. These guys were almost as bad as people trying to load in Canada. So crunching the bumper, pushing on the van. It's lucky I set the parking brake because you can damage the transmissions in these. It's a lot of nonsense. But anyways, pushing while they're in park. So wheel chocks would have been a great idea to include with this van. But I don't think I'm going to invest in those for a van that isn't mine. I have to basically in short order throw my bed open, which means a lot of rearranging. I don't know if you can see this here, but I've got basically I move my guitar so I can see the mirror there. And as I drive, I can get a nice pad here for my arms. I don't mind that, but I lose access to my refrigerator, to my ice cold water, to my milk for getting a coffee. Everything is just jammed up. My amp goes there, my guitar goes there. There's a crate in the back that gets shoved somewhere. There's 3 duffel bags. Those get shoved off to the side. And I kind of know now where everything can go to create that room for 3 skids. And the bed gets folded up this way. And it's why everything wants to collapse and fall down. And there's toilet paper rolls all over the place. And it's still a little bit of chaos. This was the best time ever. I got everything folded up nicely instead of just kind of piling it in there. I was able to fold everything really quick, get it in a neat place, and get it where I needed to go. So, what do you know? It was 4 skids. But that's not the crux of the story. That is not the crux of the story. The crux of the story is where I am and what I'm doing right now. And this is because, like I said, Marysville, Ohio was only about... What is going on here? I guess they're leading some people across the... Border Patrol just does weird things. Ooh, they're all cutting out in front of he blocked off a truck. Those must be border crossing. I don't know what the hell that deal was. Anyways, they had stopped traffic. It stopped 18-wheelers just to get some people across the highway. Anyways, the big deal is where I am. So, border crossing. What am I doing here? Here is the Ambassador Bridge. Here I'm under one piece of the highway. There is... Well, that's actually a new piece of the bridge that they're building, I think, or that's on the way down. I don't know where the hell this is, but I'm under the bridge. This is where you get in. See these 18-wheelers here? They're all rounding the curve to get into customs. This is the way into Canada, and this is where I'll typically park. If not at the back at the truck stop, I felt like I didn't want to stay there. There was no shade. I got some shade here. It's just as noisy, just as many trucks, just as much diesel smell. But this is where you can stay or park for a temporary time if you like have a paperwork issue, if you don't have your paperwork done for some reason. So yeah, sure enough, I don't have. I'm waiting for border crossing paperwork. That's my bitch at this one, because I was making great time. It was around noon when I got here, and it was I was gonna get there at 3 p.m. super early for the load, be able to be hanging out in time to have another load, this afternoon or whatever, and I'm just thinking in my mind to start firing back emails at my dispatch, but there's nothing I can do. I get bitchy, and I don't want to bitch at my dispatch because there's nothing they can do. That's out of their hands. This is a broker, and the Department of Homeland Services. Even the broker probably tell you it's not us. It's the Department of Homeland Services. They got a list of things to do. You're in a pile. You have to wait your turn, right? So maybe they got thousands of people, and there are thousands of shipments trying to cross the border right now. So, you give it to them today. But the thing is, like, this leaves me up for worry because, I've waited up to 12 hours or even 24 hours for paperwork before. I could be sitting in this very fucking spot, in this very seat for I don't know how many hours. My ass is already fucking getting sick of sitting in this seat. I could get out and walk around a little bit, but where do I go? This isn't really a place where you get out and walk around. And I have not, I said, well, go lay down in your bunk. No, there is no bunk. It's all up. This is every time this happens, my van is shit stock loaded with freight, and I got no way to lay down or anything or relax someplace comfortable. So I basically get stuck just sitting here looking at one spot all day long. Minute number 4,000. Minute number 5,000. Oh, look, another 18-wheeler going by. He's Chase. Here comes Titanium. What's the next name of the next van that's coming over? And on and on and on and on and on. Sitting here because stupid paperwork has got to fucking take some untold amount of hours. I was here, what did I have, 4 hours left? I got here probably at 11 o'clock, probably 11:15. It's 4:15 now, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever. I can't count anymore. I've been here for 5 hours. I slept for the first hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I took a nap, and now I got up, and I'm just sitting here and being pissed off and just keep stewing and brewing the more I think about it. So I thought I'd have to make this video 20 minutes. It's going to take forever to upload, but I got forever, right? So that being said, that's my day. That's the story of expediting. You got to sit around, hurry up and wait. And you might say, well, Mark, just be patient. What's the big deal? Why you got to get there? Like, what do you care if they don't get their shipment, till 5 minutes of the deadline, whatever. Like, and you're right, what do I care? But the thing is with traffic. Now, the only saving grace is I'm going into Toronto, and I'm not really even going into Toronto. I'm kind of going to be around Toronto, but I'm kind of going into the area instead of out of the area. So I probably won't be in the major influx of traffic. The influx is inbound in the morning into Toronto and outbound in the afternoon, but almost any time Toronto can be bad except for overnight. So you want to get there, in the mid-morning or afternoon, or you don't want to be going through there at popular times. Like, at least right now, I've got 2 hours to get there, so I'll be missing 5 o'clock as it is now. But through 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, there are backups, there are slowdowns. You could get into an hour wait, just sitting idle in traffic. and that's bullshit. So, not looking forward to that. And that's was pretty much my huge bitch. But that's it. I'll leave you guys with 25 minutes of me talking. Woo! I bet no one makes it to the end of this video to hear anything I'm saying right now. So, thank you for watching. If you're here, thank you for liking and subscribing. Remember to if you get this job, after about 6 months, I think you'll get a sixth sense for it. You'll kind of know like what is up, what sneaky little things about to happen, because there's little quirky things that happen, and you'll start to know like what they are and what little things, and then be ready because there's always something new. Have a good day. We'll see you soon. I'll stop talking now. Bye.